One of the best things I ever did in my life was finding myself. And I think that when you don't find yourself, everything you do is painful. I can talk from my own experience. It's like everything you do doesn't work and you don't know what to do because you don't really know who you are. That simple pain bleeds in every single aspect of your life and it makes everything you do painful and bad. And so in this video, I want to tell you my story in 3 steps of how I found myself, and I hope that you can use it for yourself. So I want to start with part 0. So when I was 17, like now I'm 24, I was in high school and honestly I felt like very bad. I didn't have a purpose. I didn't really want to live life anymore. And I told myself something very simple. I told myself, you know what? If I don't really want to live life, I can live 6 months, however the I want. Like really, I can do. If I want to vomit on this table right now, I will do it. That's what I thought myself. Obviously, I didn't vomit on tables. The second I started doing that, many things happened. The first thing that popped into my mind was to drop out of high school and start my music career. And it's so weird because I didn't grow up making music or any of that, but in that moment I knew that I wanted to do that. What I decided to do is that I actually did that. So I went to my parents and I told them, hey, I'm not going to school anymore and I'm starting this business. So I opened a website where I started selling music. It sounds very weird, but actually in that moment I literally didn't give a fuck anymore. I gave 0 fucks about anything. And so in that moment I felt like everything was straight, everything was right, everything was in harmony, and I just did that. So that was part 0 for me. But the first step that was very important for me was actually to move and travel. So I've been to over 25 countries in the past 6 years. I moved apartment like maybe 7, 8 times. I think that this is very, very important because where you're born, it's not actually in your control. It's like a video game. You spawn in this map and you have to be here. Now, people believe that the sky is blue in one country. People believe the sky is red in another country. People like spicy food. Anyways, the fact that you're in a different country makes your life completely different and you're spawned in a random country. A big step for me was to find a country that fits me. So I was born in Italy, but I lived in France, then I lived in Germany. The first time I actually moved alone without my family was in Germany. Like I lived with my family and then I moved to my own apartment. And when I was there, actually, I started to understand like what I like about life, what I don't like, things I want to do. And then after that, I thought, okay, I want to have a life that is more in this style. So a life that is more freeing, where I can do whatever I want. From there, I moved to Czech Republic. It's a country in Central Europe. And there, I met new people, I made many acquaintances, and I had a very good time. And then after that, I moved to Thailand. And when I moved to Thailand, actually, I was on the other side of the world on my own. And at that point, I actually think that I found really myself. It sounds very cliche, going to Thailand and finding yourself, but actually it's true. And I'll tell you why. It's because your perception of yourself, your image, is dictated, in my opinion, by 2 things, the inner and the reflection. I used to wake up every single day and go to school. And this is especially true in school and work. So if you wear streetwear and you go to school, people are used to this image of you. But then one day you tell yourself, you know what, I want to start wearing suits and wear shirts every single day. It doesn't resonate with who you are. And honestly, it's not even really their fault. So at that point, they are reflecting their perception of you on you, and it creates a loop of like, okay, you cannot even change your style because these people are used to seeing you this way. And so I live by a quote I tatted in my shoulder. It's belief is power. And this quote actually helps me understand how I want to live. Because in my opinion, if you want to change your life, you need to take action. That's what I experienced in my life. Whenever I took action, I changed my life. And then I asked myself, how come I cannot take action? And I cannot take action because of belief. Think about it, right? If you are overweight and you run every single day, how can you do that? You can do that because you actually believe that running is going to lead to weight loss. So the moment you believe that running leads to weight loss, then you can run. And that's why, in my opinion, belief is power. But in order to apply this belief is power mindset, you need to be in a place where people's opinion of you reflects who you really are. So when you move to a new country, you can literally recreate your life from scratch and reset your perception. So let's say you're an accountant and you want to be a content creator, a fitness coach, right? People are going to give you a lot of shit in your hometown because they're used to you being an accountant. So you have a sedentary job and probably you sit on the computer all day crunching numbers. But the moment you move to a new country and you start running every single day, you meet new people and you're like, hey, I'm a fitness coach. They're not going to tell you anything because they don't know you. And so you can abuse this and use this to your advantage. So what you can do is that before moving to a new country, you can actually plan who you want to be and actually sit down and think, okay, I want to replace this habit about myself. I want to replace this thing. I want to replace this other thing. So for me, for example, when I moved to Thailand, I was in a transition from the music industry. I was a producer before for 4 years. I got actually very successful in music. I have over 700 million plays, but that's another story. So I wanted to transition from the music industry to marketing and copywriting. So when I moved to Thailand, it was very, very easy for me because, well, when I met new people, I told them, yes, I am a copywriter. I'm getting started now. And I never really talk about music that much to people. so that it wouldn't overshadow what I did in marketing. The second thing that actually helped me finding myself, and I think would actually help you, is to put pain in perspective and understand that when people judge you, they actually don't mean anything bad. Let me explain. Again, let's take the running example, right? If you run under the sun with 30 degrees or 90 degrees Celsius, you just feel pain, right? But if you put that pain in perspective, the pain is justified and you don't feel as much pain. So if you run every single day and it's very hot outside, but you know that you're running to lose weight, you're not going to feel that pain. However, if you just run, you're going to feel pain. Same thing for everything. The moment you can frame your effort as sacrifice and not punishment, then you will be able to put that discipline and that work. If you decide to not drink on weekends to work on your business and you just think as that as a punishment, you will suffer. But if you think as that as like, okay, I'm putting this thing into the fire that is my life. So there is this big fire, right? And I take drinking, that is very powerful, right? It's a very powerful habit. I take drinking and I put it in the fire. The fire is going to explode and blow up. If you see it that way, actually, it's really going to help you. That happened for me. I always remind myself, okay, I am giving up on this habit right now because of this specific reason. And the second part of the point I was making before when it comes to people's judgment, I actually believe that is true. Let's say you start an online business and your parents don't support you. You know what? It's good. Because first of all, it shows you that your parents care about you. Because if you tell your parents, hey, I'm going to start making music and sell beats online, they're going to laugh at you and they're going to tell you to get a real job. And that's okay. Why? Because when you have a vision, people don't have the vision that you have for yourself. That's completely okay. So your job now is to destroy the gap between your vision and reality. So what happened for me with music in the beginning is that I had this grandiose idea of being a successful producer and all of this. I had to hold my feet to the ground, right? So yeah, you make music, but what do you get out of it, right? The moment I started earning more money, so maybe around the $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month mark, that's when I was 19. My parents actually saw my vision. And at that point, they didn't give me shit anymore, obviously. But I didn't feel spite or I didn't feel like, I was getting revenge or any of that stuff. I was very loving and caring towards them. In that moment, actually, even more. Like what most people do is that when their circle doesn't support them, they become spiteful and they say, you gotta grind, get on your own, like ignore people. It's not really the case, right? Because if you ignore the people that love you, you're going to get even more lost. What you want to do is that you want to sit them down and say like, okay, now you don't believe in me, and that's completely okay. That's what I did with my parents, right? I sat them down and said, listen, I have this music project, you don't believe in me, it's completely okay. I don't need you to believe in me. I just need you to keep your ideas for yourself for the next 6 months so that I have the possibility to actually focus. I have a chance. In the next 6 months, nothing happens, I will take your advice. However, I will not rob myself of the chance of trying. So I want to try something and I will try whether you like it or not. And yeah, of course, all the people in my high school, they made fun of me, they took my music, sent it into groups, because my music at the time wasn't very good. But then what happened 1 year, 2 years after, when my music started to gain a lot of traction, is that those people came to me and complimented me, saying that they were supporting me from the shadows, and it's okay. I don't feel any disrespect or anything negative towards them, because actually it makes sense, right? So there's this guy that goes in your class, right? He's in your class, he drops out and starts making beats. Cringe, honestly. If my friend came to me and said, bro, I'm dropping this business, I'm gonna make beats, I would make fun of him, to be honest, in a good way. So yeah, that's a great point. And the third thing that actually helped me understand myself and finding my own identity was what I call the artist mindset. Again, the first business I ever ran was music. There, I had to deal with a lot of artists and everything that is artistic. I had to find what is a real artist. And a real artist is someone that can do something without a purpose. Say that in order to be yourself, you need to make $10,000 a month and live in a different country, all of that. Go and do that. Be disciplined, be persistent, and go straight to the point. That's what I did. However, you need to allow yourself to be artistic like 10%, 20% of the time. So it means you need to find one thing that you do without a purpose. For me, for example, in this moment of my life, is these videos that you're watching right now. Honestly, I don't really have a purpose with this channel. I just want to make some videos, put ideas out there, and see where it goes. But the moment that you have that, you're actually able to go within yourself and grab ideas that you don't even conceptualize. So me, when it comes to work, I'm very precise, very organized, I use templates, I try to be very straight to the point, but when it comes to artistic endeavor, I don't really use my brain much. Before it was music, and now it's content creation, for example. I really like it. If you find one hobby, you can actually go very far. But don't treat it like a hobby, right? Treat it like an art. Your art could be combat sports, for example. A lot of my friends, they like to do Muay Thai and they like to fight almost every single day, and they don't really have a purpose with that. But the moment you do that, you're actually allowing yourself to express who you are fully. So for me, it's content content creation, but also clothing. So I'm a big fan of suits. I make one new suit every 2 weeks roughly, and I have 25, 26 pieces now. And this is a way for me to express myself. So yeah, this is how I personally found myself. And I think that if you do this in your life, it will actually help you. We put all of this into a Notion template that you can download in the description. Just press the link, get your Notion template, and let me know how this helps you.